Welcome to Non Sports Podcast, episode 17. This is the home of sports talk for everyone. I'm David.
I'm Jason.
Welcome aboard. Baseball is back.
Amen.
Finally. That means spring is finally here.
Unless you listen to a groundhog up in Erie.
Right?
I'm sorry, Punxsutawney.
We had snow this morning.
Yeah. It wasn't a lot, but still, it was annoying when, like, 2 days ago, it was almost 70.
Right? And then all of a sudden you go outside and the grass is white. Like, you got to be kidding me.
I want to wear shorts, damn it.
Right? So do I. I want to wear shorts, too. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, it's just, with baseball back, that means one, you got nice weather coming along. Two, stadium food. I'm sorry, we always revert back to food.
We do.
What can I say?
But that's what you do. You gotta get good food when you're at the game.
I can't wait to get to a Senators game for the spot. Can't wait for those hot dogs.
I love going to Reading Phil's games when they got dollar dogs. Because they get Hatfield dogs and then they get potato rolls.
Oh,
right.
Can't go wrong with those.
No, not at all.
Cannot go wrong with those.
So
since baseball's back now, this year finally a full season with the full 162 game season. According to the rules that they inherited from last year, doubleheaders are 7 innings.
I've heard a lot of people are really happy with that. They like that. Even some people who I would consider are traditionalists, they like the 7-inning doubleheaders. I don't have a preference one way or another. Now, one thing I've heard people complain about in regards to rules from last year that are being brought over to this year is the runner on second. Now, that's something we saw back in Hagerstown.
Yes, we did.
They were already doing it in the minors.
That was for what? The extra innings?
It was for extra innings.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What was it? Because I'm trying to remember here. My brain's skipping. Was it right after, like, let's say they go 7 innings? Was it right after when going into the 8th inning they put the runner?
I think,
or
then,
after like 1 or 2 innings.
I think then because that was 2019. I think it was the full 9 innings, and then the 10th inning, there'd be a runner positioned on second at the beginning of the inning for each team. So the top of the first, a runner on second, or top of the 10th, runner on second. Bottom of the 10th, runner on second. It was a doubleheader, but I think they played the full 9 innings.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I do remember it being a doubleheader because that was a late night. Because we actually questioned whether we want to stay for the second one.
We didn't get a chance to question that.
Didn't we? I thought we just did we want? Yeah, let's stay.
I remember we left our really cramped but nice seats in the front row to go stand on the stands with your uncle.
Those are good. Those were, a good view. That was the thing.
They were some rickety bleachers.
Yeah, scared to be on them.
They swayed a little bit.
Just a tad.
We might have offended the people in front of us.
We never offend people. Yeah. Yeah, But no, they've been doing that at that point, doing just experimenting into will it work, how will it work, and of course they always send those experiments back down to the minors just because where else can you test it? You're not going to test it in the majors just because you want to test it. Because in hockey with the 3-on-3, they tested that with the AHL first. I think it was the AHL first. They might have tested it with the lower levels, then hit the AHL. I don't know, but I first saw it in the AHL before it hit the NHL.
Right.
So this is the same concept. They tried it down low.
I think that's one of the pluses of having a minor league system is that you can test out rule changes, see if they work, see how fans react to them, see how players react to them. Not to deviate too much, but I mean, this is why I'm a big proponent of the NFL having some kind of working relationship with the CFL or the XFL, or that way you can test out new rule changes before they're implemented, because we all know how upset NFL fans get over the slightest rule change.
No, really? They get upset? I mean, hell, think about when they had the replacement refs. How bad that got.
They get upset over some of the tackling changes, the helmet on helmet, because, concussions, they want that.
Yeah.
It's late. I'm fired up.
Really? You being fired up? No. But with the 7 innings, I don't know. I kind of feel like if you pay for a game, you want the 9 innings, whether it's doubleheader or single game. It's a toss up for me. I kind of feel if you pay for a doubleheader, 18 innings, but
I think with 7 innings, 14 total, hypothetically, because you never know, one could go in extra innings. It's beneficial for the fans. The fans aren't there as long. It's beneficial for the players if they have a game the next day. I think just overall, I think the 7 innings has positives to it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, just because, I'm just thinking, like, if I'm going to spend the money, I want the game.
No, I get that. But, I mean, you're still getting 2 games.
It's a double-edged sword, though. It's a double-edged sword.
Right.
It's sort of like I pay for something, I get 80% instead of 100%. Sort of like if I buy a grill, I get everything but the grates.
Well, then I'd be calling Home Depot or Lowe's.
Or who knows if you tried to build one yourself.
Like Homer?
Hey, whatever works. But now I did see something interesting that I'm kind of excited for, was the Little League game between the Angels and the Indians on August 22nd. Hopefully they still have it. Now my question is, are they going to have Little League then?
I would assume if they're going to have the Little League Baseball Classic in August, they're going to have the Little League World Series.
But you know what assuming does.
Right.
But I just don't. I mean, I hope they do, just because of the excitement of the Little League series, and then having the game for what it brings. I hope they do.
And they spared those kids not having to see the Orioles last year. I'm sorry. God.
Somebody is fired up here.
I got to think the Angels are involved because Trout's a PA guy.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because the Indians and the Angels is an odd matchup for Williamsport, which is, the Pirates playing in Williamsport wasn't a stretch. The Phils playing in Williamsport made sense because at the time, Williamsport was the Phils' single A affiliate for short season. The Indians and the Angels, I think, it's got to be because Trout's a PA guy. It's the only thing that makes sense in my mind as to why that's the.
Yeah, I could see, like you said, Pirates, Phillies, PA teams.
Even the O's.
O's, maybe the Nationals, just because of close by. Because they're considered in like this region is what they're almost considered.
Throw a bone, I'd say the Yankees or the Mets too.
Give or take.
Distance-wise, it just seems like Cleveland's really far to Williamsport for a home team.
You think the Angels aren't?
I don't think the Angels are going to be the home team, though.
Yeah, you never know. Angels in the outfield.
You know what? I'm not ashamed to admit I enjoy that 90s remake.
Oh, that's how old that movie was.
I think 94 or 95.
Oh, that's dating.
It's old enough that I have it on VHS, so.
Be kind, rewind.
That was when Disney was pumping out all those sports films. They hit gold with the Mighty Ducks, and then, let's do Angels in the Outfield. Let's do The Big Green. Let's do, what was the one with Tony Danza as the kicker for the Eagles?
Oh, I can't remember. It's
Was it the garbage picking, field goal kicking phenom or something like? It was some really weird name, but Tony Danza was a kicker.
Yeah, I can't remember offhand.
I bet you he played a guy named Tony.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's funny.
Look
But
up his
yeah,
IMDb. He does not have a lot of roles where he's not Tony.
hey, at least he doesn't have to learn a new name.
Right.
You know, at least when they say Tony, he responds. Some actors that, they say your name or I should say your character name. What? Who are you talking to? You know,
Right.
at least he responds. So, but it's kind of far fetched between the Indians and the Angels. But like you said, the Angels has to be because of Trout.
I would think
Has to be. I mean, I would
one
imagine
of the
like
biggest
said,
stars in baseball, and he's a Pennsylvania guy. That makes the most sense to me.
I'd be shocked if it was something else. If it wasn't that, just because, like you said, that's the only thing that really makes sense.
Right.
I don't know. The Blue Jays playing in Florida at their spring training field.
Yeah, I've looked and I haven't really found anything as to why they aren't going to Buffalo for the season, because that made the most sense last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say last year they were in Buffalo because they were right there. It wasn't that far, but now they're traveling to Florida just for games, for their home games. I don't kind of see that one.
Another thing I read about the Blue Jays this season is they will not have any radio games.
Really?
Yeah.
Or Toronto fans.
Yeah, they're getting the short end of the stick this year.
I mean, I just don't get why no radio? Why not broadcast the games on the radio? I mean, that's almost like something that almost people want to hear just to listen to the baseball game. You know, people find it better to listen to it than watch it at times. That's kind of strange, though.
Sportsnet will not directly broadcast a separate radio feed and will instead simulcast their television broadcast over the airwaves. So they're still going to have a radio feed. It just won't be a special radio feed.
Interesting.
So they're just going to simulcast the TV game through the radio.
Okay, whatever works.
That's a money-saving thing right there.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you kind of, normally what all baseball games are normally radio casted.
Yeah.
So, but then having a game that's not, and especially if that's something you look forward to.
And this is no offense to people who call the games for TV, but calling a game for TV and calling a game for the radio are two different things.
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of times listening to the radio, you get a lot more excitement because that broadcaster really emphasizes what's going on.
Yeah, they have to describe the action to you, whereas the person calling the TV game is just basically telling you what you're watching and elaborating on it.
He hit the ball.
I mean, not everyone's like a Harry the K who could do both,
Oh, gee,
he did part TV games and then switched over to radio and then back to the game on TV. He was a beast.
Oh yeah, you could listen to him and you definitely know what's going on, whether you're listening to the game on the radio or watching it.
A lot of those old time guys though could do that. They started out calling radio games and then just transferred over to TV. So they never really lost that step.
Yeah, it's definitely they definitely could do that. It's kind of hard to, like you said, go from one to another, but some of those old times, like you said, can do it very, very fluently.
Yes.
And that's the thing. If you can do it fluently, then perfect. But the newer ones anymore, you don't see that because who listens to the radio anymore?
Speaking of broadcasters, I don't know if you caught the Phil's game yesterday, but Kruk was in rare form.
Rare form as in?
He was as salty as he would have been in the middle of the season. He was.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I missed it because I think I wasn't home in time to watch it.
And he also has the mullet back.
Oh, nice.
They asked him about it. He goes, yeah, I made a mistake trying to cut my own hair, so I just left it the way it is.
At least he's honest. At least he is honest.
And that's why we love him.
But yeah, no, listen to him. It's hilarious listening to him. I still love his call on Harper's grand slam walk off
That
against the
was a
Cubs.
genuine reaction. That was not.
Yeah, that wasn't fake. That wasn't. That was all like, and it was a towering shot.
It was
But
that
just
moonshot.
his reaction though was just awesome to listen to. But now with the season on, hey, the Phils won yesterday. Awesome.
Yes.
Who knows how long they'll keep it going? But of course, now this is according to ESPN, not us, but ESPN. They already gave out their predictions for who's going to who's going to win all the divisions, AL, NL champs, and who they're predicting to win the World Series. Now, who knows how this is going to be because it's just the start of the season. There's 162 games. Anything can change. But they have the Yankees win the AL East. Of course, the Yankees, go figure. The AL Central is going to the White Sox. The AL West is going to the Astros. So I wonder if they're counting on them not banging on the trash cans. Maybe.
I think with the AL East, I think there isn't enough credit given to how well the Rays played last year. Because they did go to the World Series. People are going to claim last season was an asterisk because that's what people do. But let's not talk about
this whole COVID thing with it's ridiculous. See, to me, any team that they say to put an asterisk because it's a shortened season or anything else. I mean, that to me is ridiculous. You still fight in the playoffs. You still fight to get into the playoffs. You still fight for the World Series. So what's the difference? You just catch a team that's hot. I mean, last year, the Flyers in the NHL, when all this started, that ended in March, they were a hot team. And when they went into the bubble, they lost to the Islanders in the second round. Now, could they have stayed hot? Could they have continued that run and dominated and won? Who knows? But it's just how you catch teams. The Rays just got hot. Boom, you're in the World Series. So to me, anybody who puts the asterisks in there who says they need to, no. Just move on from it.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Now with the Rays, they went to the World Series, but the question is, can they keep that momentum from that? Because normally teams who lose in a finals normally have a chip in their shoulder and have to, really make a statement the following year. So will they do it again? Who knows?
Right. I just think, I think it's kind of lazy just to go with the Yankees off the bat. Not that the Yankees don't have a good team, but I think you're shortchanging how good the Rays were last year, and they could still do that again this year.
Well, the Yankees are always a go-to because they're the Yankees. Everybody expects them to win.
Well,
so now for the NL East, they have the Braves. The NL Central, they have the Cardinals. And the NL West, they have the Dodgers. Braves are always the division. They always pick them for the divisions.
The Braves are a really solid team. As much as I hate Freddie Freeman, part of it's because he's so damn good. As much as I sympathize with Mets fans, I'm really sick of the Mets being hyped a lot this season simply because they have an owner who wants to spend money. Because you can't always buy a championship. The team has to be able to gel in order to win that championship. Just because you have a bunch of great players doesn't mean that they can work as a team and have that camaraderie that can drive you to a World Series victory. So I'm kind of glad that ESPN is kind of not putting the Mets first like other people are. The Braves are a good team. I have my issues with predictions with the NL East, but we'll get into that in the second period. I
just feel like since they're doing these predictions this early, though, I mean, yeah, you want I mean,
they do it with every sport.
That's because, yeah, they do it with every sport. But to me, it always annoys me just because you have all these teams that, yeah, we have this person, this person, this person. We should do great because we have all these guys. But yet, like you just said, can they gel? Can they work?
Right.
That's the question.
I think with the NL West, I think ESPN is sleeping on the Padres. I think, the Padres had a hot run last year. They got a really great base of talent. I could see them unseating the Dodgers and winning the NL West.
Because right now they have the Yankees winning the AL altogether and the Dodgers winning the NL. And
I
then
feel
for
like
the World Series, they're picking the Dodgers.
The Dodgers are an easy pick based on how consistently good they've been for the last few years, but I wouldn't sleep on the Padres at all. That's a really superb team, and they're young. So we'll see what happens.
Well, like you said, it's just a team that can gel. If they can keep momentum running, and even from the start, they have a slow start, and then they do it to do a pickup, more and more momentum. Hey, you never know. So, well, baseball's back. Thank goodness. So, that's the end of period 1. So, on that note, we'll be back after a short break.
What's up? My name is Matt Durline, and I'm here to tell you about the 2 podcasts that I host on the Club Kayfabe Creative Communities CKCC Radio. The first is called By the Numbers, where I interview wrestlers whose matches I have refereed in my nearly 20-year independent professional wrestling career. Tune in and hear the stories of the matches and the stories behind the matches themselves. My other show is called The A Show, co-hosted by Chris Decker. Each episode, Chris and I are joined by 1 or 2 special guests, and together we hold a mock draft based on a specific year and wrestling promotion, and then build cards based on our drafted rosters. You, the listener, decide who has the best card by voting on our Twitter poll each episode. You can hear By the Numbers and The A Show Mondays at 9 a.m., alternating weeks on CKCC Radio, wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, welcome back to the second period here. This period is Phillies preview. Now, as you can tell, Philly fans.
Yep.
Not sure if you can.
I don't know by now.
Right? So if you're watching on YouTube, well, Phillies gear. So basically, the Phillies won yesterday. Good start.
Extra innings. One of the many extra inning games.
I could see, yeah. But the thing is, though, it's like with the Phillies, they always start off good, go up, and then all of a sudden it's like they have to play. They have to play like to really defend so they don't lose the game. Not like you go up and you stay consistent.
Here's the thing. Here's my observation from yesterday's game. Last year's bullpen would have lost that game for them. And this year's bullpen held on to the game for them so that they could go into extra innings and they could win the game. So just in game 1, there was growth from last season. I feel like the team was pretty consistent. I feel like the team was pretty consistent in spring training. So that was a good glimpse of what we might see this season.
A glimpse of hope?
A glimpse of hope.
Because we all know how Philly is. I mean, just in general, not just with baseball, but with any sport from Philly, it's win or die.
Well, we're bred to expect the worst, so.
True. Oh yeah, no, it's the thing. I mean, Philly, any Philly team will always start strong and all of a sudden just crap to bed. I mean, the Phillies went up 2-0, and then to top of the 7th, the Braves had 2, and then, then the 10th, the Phillies finally pulled it out.
Yeah, but, it showed growth from last season.
It's just, to me, anytime with Philly, it's always it's always a good start and then just fails. Like you said, we're bred to expect the worst. And right now, yeah, they want they're 1-0, yay, but it's one of those things where you hope it continues, but it won't.
Right.
And especially with Joe Girardi at the helm now for his second year, maybe that first year was kind of like a feeling out period. Okay, let's see what happens. Yeah, okay, we had a short season last year. Let's really hit this hard now.
Well, I think with Joe and their new president of baseball, David Dombrowski, they are very hands-on in what's going on with the team. I mean, Dombrowski pretty much rebuilt that bullpen from what it was last season.
Anything a rebuild from last season is a plus.
Yeah, but I mean, he did it with limited finances. He still got some really good arms. Was able to re-sign both Didi and JT, and the thought was we weren't going to get them.
Well, the big thing was JT.
The big thing was JT, but Didi was really good last year at the plate.
True.
So I mean, the Didi we got was like him in his prime Yankees years. But I mean, this season is a totally new regime, whereas last season it was Girardi with all the people who were part of the rebuild. So this is a whole new regime with Girardi, with Dombrowski. We got a new GM. Things front office wise and managerial wise seem up. I get a little frustrated. I think Joe is a little too positive sometimes, but he comes across as really genuine with it, whereas Kapler came across like an idiot for being positive.
Shocking. Well, I think you need that positivity just because, you kind of keep the team going. You kind of keep that upbeat of the team because, yourself, if you're down and you got that negative all around, you got that star player who's down, that's going to feed off everybody. And if Girardi can keep like the big guys, the big leaders of the team in a positive form, then that's going to spread through the team like wildfire then, which would be a great thing. Yeah, okay, we're down, but yet, hey, let's fight back. Fighting Phils, here we go.
Right, but I think with Girardi and kind of like with Charlie, he's not going to be afraid to call people out when they need to step up or have a come to Jesus meeting with the team if they're not playing well. Whereas Kapler wouldn't do that.
Well, here's the thing, though. You need to have these players held accountable. I mean, if let's say Harper's not pulling what he needs to pull that he's so used to doing, well, you kind of need to hold him accountable for doing something. Kind of maybe bench him. Maybe bench your top player to say, hey, listen, just because he's our top player does not mean he has a free ride.
And you know what? Charlie was not afraid to bench. He benched J-Roll because he felt J-Roll wasn't hustling. Crazy to think about, but.
Well, no, but that's what you need to say. It doesn't matter if you're a star player. If you're not hustling, if you're not pulling your weight and doing what you need to do, then, hey, bench. And this will show the other players, oh, crap, they mean business. He's not just going to just sit back and just, have a free ride here and just say, hey, I'm this guy. I'm making this much money. I get a free ride. Right. No. And you need that.
Another thing I like about Girardi as the manager, he was always criticized in New York as being an analytics guy, but he's also very much a gut feeling guy, and that's missing from baseball right now. I think a lot of teams are so driven by numbers that it's almost detrimental. You have to find a balance, and I think Joe has that balance.
Well, the thing is, if he's going off his gut feeling, I mean, hell, his gut feeling got on 4 World Series. I mean, right. If his gut says, let's go with this, I'm kind of going to believe his gut, just a tad.
I think the big story this year for the Phils is staying healthy. They've had injury problems.
Well, yeah, that's always a big thing.
Reese went down, JT went down, Harper had the back issues. The season before, McCutchen went out with the knee injury. That was big. I honestly believe the 19th season would have been different had McCutchen stayed healthy.
Oh, I think it would have too, because he was a leader of that. He was a leader.
He was a team leader. But I also think that because he did go down, it forced Harper to step up and become a team leader, which is an opportunity he never got in Washington.
I agree. And, being that he, when you lead a team and they say, hey, okay, here you go, go, let's do this. If you can, I mean, yeah, it's not easy, but especially that year where that happened, I mean, I thought we were going to win go to the playoffs, but like typical Philly fashion,
When that kind of touches on something I hinted at in the first period, I think the Phils are extremely under the radar for the playoffs. They're completely overlooked by the sports media outside of Jason Stark, who is a Philly guy, actually. But so last season, out of the teams who were leading in the seventh inning, only one team did not make the playoffs. That team was the Phils. They led, going into the seventh, they led 49 out of 60 games. If they had just a mediocre bullpen, a bullpen that was slightly better than the one they had, they probably would have made the playoffs last year.
Well, that bullpen last year was just horrendous.
Probably the worst bullpen in MLB history at this point. No hyperbole there. That's legit.
I've not seen a bullpen that bad in all the years I've been watching the Phillies. Right. There was no consistency other than consistently bad.
And they were just trying to plug holes, and I get that, but I think
with duct tape, probably.
I think with having, Klentak did what he could, but he was an inexperienced GM, and it showed over the course of his time as the general manager of the Phils. So having an experienced president of baseball in David Dombrowski, he has the credentials, and he has the I don't want to say the credentials again. He has the know-how, and he has the record to back up. Look, I can do this.
Well, in his time in the league, he's been to 9 playoff appearances, 4 pennants, 2 World Series. So having that type of experience, I mean, he knows what it takes to win a World Series.
Right.
He knows what it takes. And to me, if you have a GM that knows what it takes to win and has done it, because, you have a lot of these GMs who think, I know what it takes to win. I know what it takes to win, even though they have nothing. Okay, yeah. If they're new, you'll have that, but they've been experienced, and it's going to take a little bit because you got to find that little niche. He's found that niche, especially in '97 with the Marlins, of all teams.
Darren Dalton's only World Series ring.
So, I mean, the Marlins of all teams.
He has the credentials to get a team to the playoffs.
He knows what it takes, and that's what you need. Because you know yourself, Philly is one of those teams to where it's win or die. We need a championship. Because in baseball, it was 2008 when they last won the World Series.
Yeah.
The Eagles won it. When was that?
18.
Drawing a blank here. 18. Oh, God. 3 years ago, I'm already drawing a blank on it. The Flyers haven't won a Stanley Cup since '75. They've been to the finals. In 2010 was their last final run.
Yeah.
So
Sixers, 83.
83 for the Sixers. I mean, it's just was it 83?
They've had some really bad years lately, so.
Yeah, right. So I mean, but the Phillies though had the team in the past few years, but then all of a sudden just kind of started on, to me, in my opinion, the decline. And then last year with the bullpen, it just...
They never had a chance to incline last year.
They didn't even have a chance to flatten out.
But here's the thing with that statistic. I mean, so 49 games they were leading in this by the 7th inning. They lost those games. Even if they only lost 10 games, they were a playoff team. If they lost 20 games, they were a playoff team. And everyone is overlooking them. And I'm partial, but that is a statistic that has weight to it to me. Yeah, the only one of those teams that didn't make the playoffs were the Phils. So you're going to say that team who led that many games out of 60 in that abbreviated season we had last year, isn't good enough?
I mean, let's just hope that now since it's a full season, maybe they can actually surprise a lot of people.
I hope
especially
they do.
Philly fans. Especially Philly fans, that's for sure.
I'll say this, and I've said this a few times, both off the air and I'm saying it now on the air. I don't have the feeling I did in 08. Like, I woke up in the 08 season knowing they were going to win the World Series. I just knew that based on that team and how they played, they were going to do it. I don't have that feeling yet with this team, but I think the possibilities there where they can at least win the NL East, but I'm not going to hang my hat on that either. I think they can get in as the wild card, but I think they have the talent where they could win the NL East.
Well, here's the thing. Even if you get into the playoffs, even if it's the wild card, there's always a chance to win a World Series in any team, even if you just barely if you can get in hot, you're gold. If you can get in hot, that's the key.
So here's some things to keep in mind. The 93 team clinched the division on the very last day of the season. The 07 team clinched the division on the very last day of the season.
Jesus, that's the thing. It could be to the last game to even clinch, and once you're in the playoffs, that's a whole new season.
It is, and you either exhaust yourself to get there like the 07 team did, or you go further like the 93 team did.
Maybe they can pull an 08 and do it again.
I think at the end of the season, probably the only person who's maybe leaving is McCutchen. This is the last year of his deal with the Phils.
Well, maybe then it's time now to really step up and win it now.
My biggest concern with the team is Reese. I honestly believe if Reese is slumping really bad as he's known to do, and he's not playing up to his potential, I think they're going to shop him at the trade deadline.
Well, if the production's not there, just like any other team, you're going to move. If he's not, like you said, slumping, maybe they may shop him. Maybe they may get somebody that is going to be that surprise player. So it's one of those things. They may. Who knows? How many times have trades happen where they move and all of a sudden it's the best trade. It's the best trade ever.
And you know what? I think with some players, that's, as much as you hate to say it, I think it's needed sometimes. Like I think with Scotty Kingery, I think he has a ton of upside. But between personal decisions on changing his swing and then the whole Kapler regime, it screwed him up. And he's not the same player he was when they signed him to the $24 million deal before he ever stepped foot in a big league game. They signed him based on how great he was playing in Double-A. I think that player is still there. He's just got to right the ship, and maybe them sending him down to Triple-A as they did will help. But it could be he could be one of those guys where a change of scenery will benefit him as a player. Maybe going to a different team will benefit him because he has the potential. It's just a matter of, can he reach that? And that could be the same thing with Reese. You don't know. It's just based on how they play. And he could have a great season and not be on the chopping block. But the rumor's been for at least 2 seasons now, he might get traded based on how he plays.
Well, yeah, like you said, scenery might be, it might push to be, hey, okay, I need to change the scenery. I need to get my act together. This is the place to do it. Because how many times have we seen trades where, of course, players leave Philly and they become top stars. And that's with any sport in Philly, because that's always seems to be a thing. As soon as they leave, they win Stanley Cups and World Series and, all that with other teams. So it's just kind of thing that it is.
Right.
So maybe for him, hey, that might be the case. That might be the case. And whoever the Phillies get in might be the same way. It might be, tit for tat there. It might be, hey, we'll give you this person. We get this person. Hey, we got the better of the deal. Hey, World Series in hopes.
I I think the player to watch this season is going to be Alec Baum, who should have been the NL Rookie of the Year last season, but he was unjustly not voted the Rookie of the Year. He came in like as if he had been playing Major League Ball his entire life. I mean, he took to the big leagues naturally, and he looked awesome on freaking yesterday, which was Thursday for those of you listening. Thursday, April 1st.
Yeah, I mean, what did he go? I forget the stats here. I just had it up here. He went, I mean, he had 3 at-bats. He didn't have any hits or runs, but it's beginning of the season, it happens.
He drove in, he had a sacrifice, though. A sacrifice hit. He had some good defense. And he plays the hot corner at third, so your defense has got to be on point.
Oh, yeah, especially at third. First and third. I mean, that's so, because how many times have you seen a ball driven down the line and extra bases because of that?
That's how the Phils won. I think this team's going to do far better than the sports media is predicting they will this year.
Well, everybody puts Philly down in general. It doesn't matter what Philly sport is. Everybody puts Philly down in general. So
we might have to revisit this at the All-Star break.
Right? So let's hope the Phillies can do something. And, with all the changes, second year in Philly coach and a new president of baseball, we can only hope. So on that note, that is the end of period 2.
Ring that bell.
So on that note, we'll be right back with a short break.
Baseball fans, check out the Baseball Together podcast. Your hosts, Blackjack Brad and Kansas City Little Big Briggy Blue Eyes, present new episodes for the entire baseball family every Tuesday. Available on all your favorite podcast apps and YouTube. Come join our baseball family where we do baseball together.
All right, welcome back to the third period here. As we all know, third periods are always the best ones. So this one is going to be a little interesting. Best beers in professional sports tournament. So
yes, so
it's going to be fun.
Go ahead. Yeah. So for the next few weeks, or the next few episodes, I should say, we will discuss a different sports league and the players who are noted for their beards in that league, and then you, the listener, will vote on who you feel has the best beard of said league. The tournament will cover the big 4 of MLB, NFL, NBA, and NHL. We will put a poll on our Facebook group, and that you will vote on. The top vote getter will then be named the best beard for that league. And then we'll have a final discussion of the top vote getters, the champion beards for each league, and you will then vote on who you feel has the best overall beard in professional sports. And that will be the None Other Sports Podcast Best Beard in Professional Sports Award. Very coveted.
Hey, it's interesting. It's something different, I mean, a lot of people don't think beards are a thing in sports, or it's just like I should say
just
that
playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. But there's some players who have that beard all year round. And I know that people are in discussion and looking at your background. If you watch us on YouTube, you'll see Jason's background here of some of the sports players here, because they're, he has one of baseball, basketball, and hockey there. Those beards are all year round. They don't change.
Yeah, we got James Harden, Joe Thornton, and Dallas Kykel behind me here as my background.
So it's, yeah, the beards are a thing, and not just playoffs.
I said it off the air. I'll say it on here. I think Harden is going to be tough to beat. that thing is glorious. So we're going to start off, since this is a baseball theme episode, we're going to start off with the baseball beards tonight. And then after this episode is posted, the poll will go up on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/notunderthesportspod. We'll link that on our Twitter and our Instagram, and you can go there, and you, the listener, can go vote on who you feel has the best beard in Major League Baseball. And we're going to quick talk about the 6 potential vote getters for this. So first up, we'll start with
actually before you go that far yet, also on YouTube, there will be, when we discuss the player, there will be a picture on YouTube. So if you want to vote there, put your vote there as well. So this way you can see the beard there as well.
I'll have the link in the description on YouTube, so they can go right to the poll on through YouTube.
So just want to throw it out there.
All right. With that, let's start off with the discussion, and we'll go with Bryce Harper. Very noted for his beard, especially since moving to the Phils.
It's definitely gotten a lot more bushier than what he was with the Nationals.
I think I like Harper's beard. There's 3 guys in the MLB list who I think have really great beards. Harper's one of them. It's a very classic full beard. He keeps it a little trimmed, maybe a little too well groomed for some.
Full beard, that's for sure.
But it is definitely, that is like the old man in Home Alone with the shovel full. Like,
oh yeah,
that is some old school beard right there.
It is. I mean, it's definitely.
It is a solid beard.
Yeah, there's no, like, I know some people when they try to grow a beard, it's like all in patches and everything else. You see some
people like Joe Dirt.
So I know some people, like, let's say in the NHL who can't even grow a beard. But yeah, right. Yeah, that one he can't. But no, yeah, Harper's beard is definitely, but like I said, it's a little trimmed up, but
it's strong.
Fits him.
It fits a strong beard.
It's not like it's in spotted or anything else. But that's the first one there.
I think that's a top contender. Next one for MLB is going to be Charlie Blackmon of the Colorado Rockies. He's another one. I like his beard. It's a full beard.
It's a wild beard.
It's a wild beard, but it's a full beard.
It's full, all right.
And it matches the mullet he has every now and then too.
Yeah, and the picture we have for him, he definitely has that mullet going.
Yeah, the beard is part of the whole package, I think, with him. And as for one of the long beards in baseball, he has a really well-rounded beard where it's up in the chin and the cheek area. The mustache goes with it, because there's guys who have beards and they don't really have a mustache. It's just kind of there.
It almost looks like he's going to eat with the mustache, like he's eating it, because it's just it looks like it's just that long from the picture.
Soup is not his friend.
I don't think anything's his friend with that. Oh look what I found. Look, is that a bird?
It does look a little nestish. Yes, I can agree with that.
Just a tad. Wow. Yeah, that's definitely. That's gonna be a tough one to beat.
Number 3 is Justin Turner of the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's a ZZ Top beard to me. That's a little Amish.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's more Amish than anything. I mean,
it's definitely
if he didn't have the mustache, I'd say Amish.
Because there's not much going on in this area here, and
it's almost like in Tommy Boy. It's not so much here or here so much, but right here. It's just everywhere.
Yeah, it almost looks like an extension of his hairline. Honestly,
it does. It's. Yeah.
But he's noted for having a beard in baseball. So that's why he's part of this list.
I mean, he doesn't have quite a mustache, but his beard's there. Yeah. That's for sure. I wonder how long that actually is. Good Lord.
If it gets any longer and a good breeze comes in the field, he could miss something.
Right? Dude, imagine playing and you get and the wind kicks up and the beard goes in your face and you can't see because of your beard. I got it. Oh, crap. I mean, just think about that for a second. I mean,
yeah, it's. I think that's more of a hit or miss one. I don't think it's as strong as Charlie or Harper's, or the next one on the list. I think the next one is Jake Arrieta, who's back with the Cubs. Thank God.
Really, that's how you really feel on that one.
I think the Phils got rid of him for a used bag of balls and a jockstrap.
Was it used?
It might have been.
Then probably well worth trade.
He's another one with a really full beard.
It's dark.
Yeah.
That's a dark beard on that one.
Like Harper's and Charlie's, it's a really full beard. It's very puffy.
He has his own pillow.
He does.
He has his own pillow.
Really good for flights.
Absolutely. Just turn your head and boom, you're out. Now, I wonder, though, if he, like, because if you look at his mustache and right below his lower lip, his hair is brown, but the rest of it's black. So I wonder if he, like, kind of uses just for men and, you know.
He might. I think he's about in our age range, so it's possible. We're getting older.
Are we? Yeah.
Now he's a pitcher. So here's my question. Like, so some people use beard balm or beard oil to keep their beard from drying out. Would they consider a little extra beard oil on his beard as an illegal substance to get extra rotation on the ball?
That's a good question. That should be a question we should send to MLB, just because that is a really good question, though, with all these players having these big beards and try to keep them groomed up, and especially like you said, a pitcher, will that be considered an illegal substance? Because all they got to do is just rub their chin and, oh, look, you know, I got something that could give me a better grip.
And actually, that ties into our next pick for the best beard, Dallas Kykel of the White Sox. Although the picture we have of him is him with the Astros, but he's with the White Sox now. He's another pitcher, bearded pitcher.
That's a long beard too.
It's a long beard, but it's a little thin in the mustache and cheek area.
Yeah,
compared to Arietta.
It's all trimmed up, all in the upper part, but when it comes to the actual beard itself, it looks like it's about, 3 inches long?
Yeah, he got a built-in bib there.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, it's like right out there. I mean, you know, if he drops food or misses his mouth for a drink, it's just going to roll right off.
He could braid it.
Dude, wouldn't that be cool to see a pitcher with braids in, you know, just kind of like braids through his beard?
You could do that for like Mother's Day weekend when they do the breast cancer colors. He could braid it and have pink ribbons in it.
Exactly. That'd be something to do. Yeah. That'd be interesting to see.
Another person, I think he gets a lot of attention because of his beard, but I don't think his beard is as strong as Arietta, Harper, or Blackmon.
Yeah, but I mean, it's there. It's, you know, it's long. You know, it's trimmed on the sides, but it's long.
Yes.
But like you said, player known for his beard.
And then finally, go ahead. Sorry, David.
And a built-in, you know, bib, like you said. You know,
he's got a built-in bib. Yeah.
Of course, there was a lot of these beards. Who knows what food they're finding into after they're eating?
God. Okay, so think about like with Harper, how hard he plays and sliding into second base face first. He's got to have to comb out some clay and grit after the games.
Oh, jeez, yeah. I mean, think about it. I mean, you slide in and sit there and just kind of start brushing your beard. And it's like, oh, look, a mound of dirt. I mean, that's something you just got to look at for some players. I mean, that's just for how hard they play. And
you got some first base and third base chalk in your in your beard there.
Are you going gray? Nope.
You look like Hulk Hogan.
Oh, wow. There you go, brother.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Okay. And then our final selection for Major League Baseball is Jake Fraley. of the Mariners. Now, I think he's kind of an in-between Arietta, Harper, and Blackmon, and Turner and Kykel. Because he's got the length, and he's kind of got the sides, but he really doesn't have the mustache area as thick as the others.
The color. He has that going for him.
Yeah, he kind of looks a little like Powder.
You know.
That's a deep reference.
Wow.
That's a deep one.
Going that far, huh? Well, yeah, what is it? Looks like brown on the sides, a little blonde or gray in the front. Yeah, you know.
It's a little all over the page. But I would definitely say it's stronger than Turner's.
It's something. Like I said, it's like, you know, the mustache is trimmed up and, you know, it's definitely there. It's definitely something that, once again, may not be like a full built-in pill like the others, but
it's solid.
It works. It's all over the place now, you know, just with the different color schemes he has going for him.
Now, and before we continue, you'd think that we would have came up with this idea ourselves because we are bearded individuals. No, the person to either thank or blame for this is David's brother, Matt.
It's himself a beard, too.
He was the one who suggested this on our Facebook page, of all places. So if you have any gripes or grudges, let him know in the comments. Oh, man. So, who would you pick if you were voting?
That's a tough one. I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to go, kind of go towards Charlie.
Yeah.
Kind of go towards Charlie. I'm kind of leaning towards him.
I'm kind of leaning towards Charlie myself.
It's all over there on that one.
I feel like Harper got a strong beard, but I just feel like it's too... It's not a tight beard, but he definitely keeps it groomed.
Where Charlie, it's just like he just stuck his finger in an electrical socket and there it goes. I mean... And of course, in the picture we have for him, the look on his face is like, what did I just do?
Yeah, he kind of got that Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown shocked look on his face going on.
Great Scott.
Grape Scotch.
Grape Scotch? Oh, dude. That'd be horrible. Grape Scotch. Oh, that's just wrong.
So
that is just wrong.
By the time you're listening to this, you will have the ability to go on our Facebook page and vote for who you think has the best beard in Major League Baseball, and we will announce the winner on the next episode of the show.
Definitely see who wins on that one. Because like I said, I'm thinking Charlie would win just because, like I said, his beard's everywhere. Ugh.
Yeah, he's my pick with Harper as a second and Arietta as a third.
Arietta just has that bush like a pillow almost. He almost has that one going for him.
Well, you can tell he fluffs it with either a comb or a brush.
Something. It's a fluffy one.
But so yeah, you guys listening, hit up the Facebook page. The link will be on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook, and in the description for the show on YouTube. And let us know who you think has the best beard in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, we'll also put the pictures in the YouTube channel as well as we're discussing them, so you can see who you're voting for.
And the pictures will also be on the poll on Facebook as well. So we'll have you covered everywhere.
Which is always good.
Yes.
Because sometimes being uncovered is definitely not fun.
No. Always got to be covered and protected. Anyway, this is going downhill fast.
No, it never goes downhill fast. It's just like a free fall. There's no hill to even go down. It's just drop underneath. So, but yeah, it's just we'll have all that posted, and we'll vote for the best beard, and that'd be the end of the third period.
All right, so real quick here before we wrap things up, as of the 31st of March, I am part of a Philly-specific show that comes out once a month under the Baseball Together Podcast Network banner. It is called the Philly Baseball Together Podcast. Myself and my co-host Tori will just talk things about the Phil season once a month during the baseball season. And you can find that wherever you get your podcasts. Also, big announcement. I will be on the A Show again as part of their Season 1 Tournament of Champions. I don't know when I will be recording that episode or when it will air. I can tell you that I have some tough competition based on what I've seen. So I may only make it to the first round. But I'll keep you guys posted on that. And then next week, David and I will be on the Baseball Together podcast with Brad and Brig. I don't know what we will be talking about, but I have no doubt it's going to be a lot of fun.
I bet you it's about baseball.
I bet you it's about baseball, too.
Jeez.
What gave that away?
Who knows? Who knows what gave that away? I don't know. Maybe just a lucky guess, an educated guess. Who knows?
But
flip a coin.
I've been on there. I've been on with them before, and it's been a lot of fun. We actually, the second time I was on with both Brad and Brig, not just Brad himself. And he forgot to hit record, and we thought we recorded at least a solid hour of stuff, and we had to try and recreate it.
Oh, geez.
And Brig and I might have misheard Brad say Oreo O's, and we thought he said Oriole O's, as in like the Baltimore Orioles had their own cereal. And that was a whole conversation unto itself.
And that type of conversation you can never get back.
Nope.
You can never repeat, just because of just how that everything would just flows on that one. I'm
really hoping that we don't run into that when we're on the show, because I think between the four of us, it's going to be a madhouse.
I think it's going to be worse than a madhouse. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be great, but it's going to be interesting.
It is. They're good guys, and you're just based on some interactions you've had with them, you're getting an idea of their sense of humor. So
ours, which is scary.
Look for us on their show. I think we're recording it next Friday, so look for us probably the week after.
Seems like their sense of humor is the same as ours.
Oh yeah,
which is scary.
It's going to be fun. So with that, thank you for joining us for episode 17 of the Not Another Sports podcast. You can find us online at facebook.com/notanothersportspod. Feel free to like, comment, or message us. Make sure you vote in the best beard polls. The Not Another Sports podcast is available for streaming or download at anchor.fm, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Don't forget, we are also on YouTube now. So if you like us on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe. Get the alerts of our shows every time it's uploaded. Leave comments, subscribe, rate, and review. All these things are very important to help us grow the podcast. With that, I'm Jason.
I'm David.
We'll talk to you next time.
Have a good one.